If Charles can take him down, he can finish him easy in the ground.
In reality, everyone knows what's going to happen. Is another dude that's talking that's going to fold in front of me.
Una vez la campana suena, el combate empieza, no va a encontrar la manera de avanzar hacia adelante. Que eso es lo que sucede conmigo, que avanzar hacia adelante, ¿con quién estás acostumbrado a hacer eso? Ese no soy yo.
Is this one of like the greatest 3-fight winning streaks we've ever seen?
For sure. I mean, these are legends we're talking about, you know? Yeah. Stopping a guy who's never been stopped in Max, beating Volk, who has long time top of the game, like Charles, another former champ who's putting on great performances.
Can win against Islam Makhachev and even Charles Oliveira too, because Ilia that good.
With less than a day to go until UFC 317's former lightweight champion, Islam Makhachev has finally shared his predictions for the title fight between Charles Oliveira and Ilia Topuria. In a recent interview, Makhachev said the outcome could go either way, depending on which fighter sticks to their game plan. He explained that if Oliveira manages to get the takedown, he could finish the fight quickly on the ground. On the other hand, if Topuria lands clean, Oliveira could be knocked out. Despite the speculation, Ilia Topuria remains unfazed, confident in his victory. He's already envisioning himself as a two-division UFC champion. Ahead of UFC 317, he even posed for a photo shoot with 2 UFC belts, signaling his ambition. Fans are buzzing with excitement for this high-stakes matchup, and so is Makhachev, who's eager to see who will claim his now vacant lightweight title. For him, it all comes down to execution. Whoever can impose their style will walk away with the win.
Topuria has said a lot about you. He's being very respectful now this week. Like he said, he doesn't think you ducked him, and he respects you for chasing your goals at welterweight. Who do you think is going to win on Saturday at UFC 317 between Ilia and Charles Oliveira?
It depends, man. Who can follow his game plan, you know? If Charles can take him down, he can finish him easy in the ground. Or if Topuria catch him, he's gonna sleep, you know? And 2 options. Who is gonna...
Islam Makhachev also shared his thoughts on the possibility of Charles Oliveira becoming the first 2-time lightweight champion, recognizing it as a significant achievement. Charles definitely has a strong chance, especially since he tends to perform well against strikers, Makhachev noted. However, he offered a word of caution, emphasizing that if Oliveira becomes too emotional or loses focus, it could end up costing him in a fight as dangerous as this one.
Never being a 2-time lightweight champion, Charles will be the first if he wins. That would be a big accomplishment.
Well, I don't know about it, but he has chance. He has big chance, you know. Yeah. And he always fight good against the striking, you know, But if Charles have small chance, if you give him small chance, he can.
On the other hand, Ilia Topuria expressed full confidence that Charles Oliveira won't be able to rely on his usual aggressive style. He believes that once the fight begins, Oliveira will quickly realize he can't push forward the way he normally does. Topuria predicted that his pressure and precise striking would force Oliveira to retreat and adjust his game plan, ultimately leading to a finish not long after.
Es que él también va a mantenerse a ese estilo que hace de ser tan agresivo.
No va a poder. Que él puede tener una estrategia, pero después, una vez la campana suena, el combate empieza, no va a encontrar la manera de avanzar hacia adelante. Que eso es lo que sucede conmigo, que avanzar hacia adelante, ¿con quién estás acostumbrado a hacer eso? Ese no soy yo. Lo vas a ver intentar ir hacia adelante, obviamente, no encontrará la manera de hacerlo, retrocederá, recibirá un par de golpes en la cara, intentará algún derribo y ya muy pronto verás la final.
Charles Oliveira responded with confidence when asked whether he might alter his approach. Knowing that Ilia Topuria expects him to come forward, he dismissed the concern, saying that everyone already knows what's going to happen. Oliveira referred to Topuria as just another fighter who talks big but will fold once they're face-to-face in the cage.
Coming forward in this fight, and you're the lion and you're going to bring the fight to him. He actually predicted that's exactly what you would do. Is there any part of you that thinks maybe I shouldn't play into what he expects, or does part of you think it'll be fun to prove that he can expect exactly what I'm going to do and I still manage to beat him at it anyway?
In reality, everyone knows what's going to happen. Is another dude that's talking that's going to fold in front of me.
Earlier, Charles Oliveira warned that he plans to stay aggressive against Ilia Topuria, saying he'll keep moving forward without taking a step back. He confidently called himself the problem in the lightweight division. Oliveira described himself as a lion and promised he won't back down, no matter what Topuria brings to the cage.
I had that confidence once when I didn't have a loss. But then you face somebody that's not going to walk backwards. I'm going to push forward. I'm going to walk forward. I'm the problem in this division. I am a lion, and I'm not going to back down. You're going to see this on Saturday, on 28th.
However, Ilia Topuria also acknowledged that he believes Charles Oliveira is being honest about his plan to come forward aggressively. He expects Oliveira to push the pace right from the opening seconds. Still, Topuria made it clear there's a difference between intention and reality, saying that what Oliveira wants is one thing, but what he'll actually achieve is another. He joked, "I want to go to heaven too, but I don't want to die," implying that Oliveira's plan might not go as smoothly as he hopes.
Sabemos que Charles tiene un estilo agresivo de ir hacia adelante. ¿Crees que puede estar jugando hasta un poquito el juego de tirarse el farol y al final apostar por un game plan más conservador, o de verdad crees que va a ser igual de agresivo?
Es que él no tiene nada que perder. Yo creo que lo que está diciendo es la verdad, que él va a intentar ir hacia adelante en todo momento. Vamos, que desde los primeros segundos creo que va a intentar caminar hacia adelante. Pero una cosa es lo que él quiere y otra cosa es lo que conseguirá. ¿Sabes? Yo también quiero ir al paraíso, pero no quiero morir.
Meanwhile, Dustin Poirier shared his thoughts on Ilia Topuria's rise and knockout power, calling it potentially the greatest three-fight win streak if Topuria can finish the job. Poirier praised Charles Oliveira for his impressive wins over Volkanovski and Holloway, referring to all three fighters as legends. He added that if Topuria pulls it off, he would truly prove to be everything he's been made out to be, a dangerous fighter.
He goes from knocking out Volk to knocking out Max, and if he knocks out Charles, is this one of like the greatest three-fight winning streaks we've ever seen?
Sure, for sure. I mean, these are legends we're talking about. You know, stopping a guy who's never been stopped in Max, beating Volk, who has long time top of the game, like Charles, another former champ who's putting on great performances. Like, man, what can I say about this guy? I'll say it again. If he does it, he's everything he said he is, man. He's a dangerous dude.
Meanwhile, Merab Dvalishvili spoke highly of his friend Ilia Topuria, describing him as unlike anyone he has ever trained with. He praised Ilia's intelligence, strength, and relentless work ethic, expressing his belief that Ilia can defeat both Islam, Makhachev, and Charles Oliveira. Merab emphasized that training with Ilia feels completely different from working with anyone else, noting that no other training partner has matched his intensity and skill.
Different. He's so smart, so strong, and so hard worker, and I think he can win against Islam Makhachev and even Charles Oliveira too, because Ilia that good, you know. I know him, I trained with him, and I don't felt nothing like I felt with him. Like I don't felt anything same, any close like to any other training partner.
Merab Dvalishvili said that while Ilia Topuria might be a bit shorter, he hits hard, and his style more than makes up for any size difference. He compared Ilia to Alexander Volkanovski, who isn't the tallest, but still managed to beat Max Holloway 3 times. For Merab, size doesn't matter, it's about how you fight. He believes Ilia's style poses a tough challenge for both Islam, Makhachev, and Charles Oliveira.
Ilia is a little bit shorter, but I think he hits hard and his style, you know. It's like we all see that Alex Volkanovski, he's not the tallest, but how he fights, and he beat 3 times Max Holloway, tall guy, you know. Size depends how you fight, you know, like, and then I don't think the size is a big difference. It depends how you fight, and Ilia's fight style is typical for, I think, for Islam and even for Charles Oliveira.
Former UFC champion Demetrious Johnson is also backing Ilia Topuria to defeat Charles Oliveira. Predicting a finish, he said he expects Topuria to hurt Oliveira and then follow him to the ground for a potential stoppage, similar to what Islam Makhachev has done. Johnson emphasized his confidence in Topuria and added that he'd be shocked if the fight doesn't end with a knockout.
10 G's, Demetrious, who you got?
I'm going to go with Ilia Topuria. The reason why is because when you look at Charles Oliveira's last couple of fights, you know, when he fought Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, you know, Michael Chandler even, he's been hurt in every single one of those fights. Yeah. He gets dropped and he goes to his back. And then a lot of those guys, even Islam hurt him on the feet. And a lot of those guys don't follow him to the ground. They allow him to get back up and he gets back in a gunfight and then he's able to put those guys out. Now, I am betting on that Ilia Topuria is going to hurt him, and when he does hurt him, he's going to fall into the ground and try to finish him like Islam did. Now, Charles Oliveira can win that fight because we have seen Ilia Topuria been hurt before from a taller guy by Jay Herbert. Jay Herbert was able to rock him multiple times, but Ilia Topuria was able to make the adjustments, and he ended up knocking out Jay Herbert. So at the end of the day, I'm going to go with Ilia Topuria, and I know someone's getting knocked out. Somebody's getting finished. Like, if nobody gets finished, I will be shocked.
Meanwhile, Tom Aspinall praised Charles Oliveira for his fearless approach, noting that he never hesitates to trade shots with powerful opponents. He highlighted Oliveira's willingness to stand and exchange strikes with heavy hitters like Michael Chandler and Justin Gaethje, drawing parallels to Ilia Topuria's fighting style. Aspinall also pointed out how Oliveira often lures opponents into wild exchanges before capitalizing on the chaos to secure submissions, such as flying triangles.
I like about Charles, let's have a little look at him, is he isn't afraid to exchange with the punches, with anybody. We've seen him get punched off guys like Chandler. We've seen him get guys off guys like Gaethje and all the rest of the short, stocky, powerful punchers. So Topuria, his style isn't dissimilar to other guys he's fought before. But what he likes to get involved, get him dragged into a bit of a punching match, and then he'll tie him up. And then he'll go for flying triangles. He's not scared to be on his back either. He doesn't mind getting taken down where he's on his back, and he'll be throwing up, he'll be doing all this kind of stuff. He'll be throwing up triangles, he'll be going sweeps, lifting him up, he'll be doing all different kind of attacks off his back as well, and that is something that is difficult to prepare.
Meanwhile, Ilia Topuria responded to Charles Oliveira's promise to move forward and engaged by saying that while Oliveira will certainly try, it doesn't mean he'll succeed. He acknowledged that Oliveira will do what any fighter would to win. When asked if he was surprised by Oliveira's eagerness to enter a firefight, Topuria said he wasn't surprised at all. To him, it's simply Oliveira's job to be confident going into the fight.
I spoke to you at a media day and you said that you expected Charles to march right towards you so you wouldn't have to go find him, and then yesterday he said, yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to march forward and get into a fight.
Remember, this is what he's going to try to do. That's not something he's going to do. He's going to try to do it. He's going to try to win, of course.
Are you surprised, though, that he's so willing to get into this firefight with you, and does that play into your hands during the fight?
Not at all. That's his job. He has to be confident.
Ilia Topuria dismissed the idea of a quick 2-minute finish, saying that while Charles Oliveira will attempt to impose his game plan, he won't succeed. Topuria made it clear that he intends to make Oliveira fight on his terms and remain in control throughout the bout.
I think then this fight might just turn out to be almost like a 2-minute sprint until you land and end this fight early.
2-minute sprint? No. He's gonna try to walk forward. He's not gonna find a way to do it, and I'm gonna make him play.
Ilia Topuria dismissed Charles Oliveira's claim of having more punching power as pure wishful thinking. Confidently, he challenged Oliveira to face him in boxing, grappling, or wrestling, insisting he would beat him in any discipline. I can beat him however I want, Topuria said, emphasizing just how confident he feels ahead of their fight.
We're two guys who walk forward and are going to collide anyways, whether it's on the ground or on the feet. And I really believe in the firepower I have in my hands. Now, if he is saying that against a guy that knocked out Max Holloway the way you did, do you think that's a mistake?
That's a very, very wishful thinking, Kevin. That he thinks that he has more like powerful punch than me. That's a very wishful thinking. I challenge him. Like we can do only separate like a boxing match, a grappling match, a wrestling match. Everywhere I beat him, everywhere. However I want. This is how confident I felt.
Charles Oliveira acknowledged the buzz surrounding Ilia Topuria, but emphasized that experience matters in this sport. He explained that every fighter develops at their own pace and approaches the game differently. While he credited Topuria for being young, hungry, and undefeated, Oliveira believes he still has a lot to prove before reaching the level of the fighters Oliveira has already faced.